The oceans and seas of our planet cover 71% of the Earth's surface. We know little to nothing about what lies beneath. This is why I have created, in 2013, the OCEAN71 digital magazine. We aim to combine exploration and investigation with digital technology to bring our subscribers tales from beneath the surface. To achieve this, we have converted a 12-meter yacht to a floating newsroom equipped with all the modcons to work in a digital era. OCEAN71 is made up of a team of journalists, sailors, divers and specialists. Our mission is to go where few have gone before and to return with unique images and information. On the 10th of July 2011, the OCEAN71 team cast off from the tourist haven of Corfu, situated to the west of Greece, and headed north up the Adriatic. Destination: Albania. The mission: to explore the coastline. Under communist control for most of the 20th century, Albania remains largely undiscovered, its secrets largely unknown. From France, we sailed thousands of miles along the Mediterranean shores to arrive in Greece at the beginning of summer 2011. Visible from Corfu, Albania beckoned. As we approached Saranda, first landfall in Albania, the OCEAN71 team became quieter and quieter. We all felt the same apprehension. Exploring the unknown is the OCEAN71 raison d'être, but going in without a shred of information was a first for all of us. At first glance, a landing place in this old communist outpost was not immediately obvious. Most people we had spoken to tried to dissuade us from attempting to get ashore with stories of heightened military presence along the coast, smugglers at night, and naval mines. There are no maps of Albania, no nautical charts of the coastline. We were going in blind. All we had was a word of mouth from a handful of helpful travelers and a map of Greece that included a sliver of the southernmost tip of Albania. On deck, we were on red alert, feeling our way in to the unknown. A few miles off Saranda, we were shocked by what we saw: a concrete jungle. In the early heady days of democracy, the people who had been forbidden ownership under a century of communism were looking for homes, and the country was seized by a building frenzy. Smelling profit, entrepreneurs threw up dozens of ugly concrete apartment blocks along the coastline. With no building regulations in place, it took just 10 years for the Saranda fishing harbor to be swallowed up by a concrete tourist town. It was late afternoon when we nosed into Saranda. What we had thought was a harbor was in fact a commercial dock and a row of ferries from another age. We held out our breath, expecting gun-toting military to appear. Instead, a relaxed-looking man ambled over. His welcome was warm, genuine, if a little curious. 50 euros later, our paperwork was in order, and we were officially on Albanian soil. We let out our breath. Our goal in coming to Albania was twofold: to crack the mystery of a country that is a gateway to Europe and yet still unknown, and to find out whether the coastal waters were untouched and unpolluted by time. We set off to find out. First stop, the coves around Saranda. Alone for the most part, our first forays revealed some astonishing finds. The crystal clear waters of the Ionian Sea revealed some of the most startling underwater flora and fauna we had ever seen. Vast beds of seagrass, sea sponges, any number of crustaceans, and species of fish, all living in a completely virgin environment. The seafloor was immaculate. Neither the fishing nor the budding tourism industry in Albania had impacted the marine environment. Such exceptional natural balance in our day and age is very much at risk. In one of the coves along the coast, we came across one of the country's few divers. He allowed us to accompany him underwater, as long as we don't reveal his identity. 30-year-old Marco's underwater pastime is a prisonable offense in France and Italy, where the specific species of crustacean that he's fishing for is all but extinct. Not so in Albania. The species is abundant, and there are no laws to prevent him from his lucrative business. He's collecting sea dates, an elongated mussel-like species. Amber in color, their nutty flavor made them highly sought after in Europe, until selling them was outlawed. To gather them, the diver must break up the rock around them. Imagine this sort of destruction on a ground scale. In less than an hour, Marco has gathered just over 5 kilos, which he will sell for 100 euros to the restaurants of the capital city. A fortune when you think the average salary is 200 euros a month. The underwater treasure trove is not exclusive to marine life. Diving these waters is like flicking through a military history book. The remains on the seabed date back to the First and Second World Wars and to the Cold War. Just 10 meters below the surface, we spotted a Second World War naval mine. But as it turns out, this was just the beginning. The more diving we did, the more ancient our discoveries. Several thousand-year-old amphorae, vases, bowls were scattered on the seafloor in full sight. Our surprise wasn't related to the nature of the treasure, as the Mediterranean holds thousands of years of history and thousands of shipwrecks in its depth. Our surprise was that such bounty was lying so close to the shore and in just 20 meters of water. Our team could free dive to salvage an amphora neck or handle, a rarity in the 21st century, when such accessibility normally guarantees their disappearance. Who would have thought that almost a century of communism could have such benefits? The country possesses the most extraordinary underwater museum. Its historical value is inestimable. Back on board our exploration yacht, we documented a few of the archaeological remains before handing them in to the local authorities. We were stunned. But this was just the beginning of our remarkable discoveries. These remains were the first in a long trail that led us all the way back through time to one of the most important people in history, Julius Ceasar.